Get into it. The last game of the playoffs. Axel Toss, who do you want to see?
Let's look at Monty, if we don't mind. I mean, you know, the early game, we look at everyone, really. I'm particularly interested in Monty because I want to be correct. I said Vince and Monty. I said they're my boys, and they're going to make it. So I'm a little biased right now. But based on what we saw from Flame, it should be really exciting to keep up with him. And again, the three guys we're really looking out for here are Flame, Monty, and Ziggy. So those guys are going to be trying to unseat each other. I don't have a good answer for who to watch. I don't know. I try to watch all of them, even though it's hard.
Yeah. No, that's I think it's important to know that this is really three players, like you said. Devless is up there. Radical, who is Choke God, who likes to confuse us by having different names.
Oh, okay.
And then Flame, of course, is there as well. So
yeah. What we're saying is,
I know.
Yeah, nice. What we're saying is Radical, aka Choke God, and Devless, they're safe. They're in. They're probably in. I guess there's a weird way Flame could win. Flame. Yeah, there's maybe a weird way Flame could win and Devless get 8th, where Flame can pass Devless. But otherwise, Choke God and Devless are relatively safe. We really want to focus on Flame, Monty, and Ziggy. Those are the guys on the bubble, really trying to get in the top 8. And they need to unseat each other.
Yes, and it's not only just them. I think you're right. I think Choke God, I think Radical, and Devless are safe. Period. It's other groups. It's the other groups. The other players, like in group number 1, for instance, where all the points were so tightly packed that there are a lot of players sort of on the cusp, on the bubble. You've used that term before, and that's super important.
Also, I guess it could be fun to say to encourage players who are from earlier groups who are watching the stream, go ahead and say hi in the chat. I know you guys probably have a lot of fans here who would love to have some dialogue with you, so I'm sure they're doing it already. But I'm sure we have some players tuning in who are very curious with how these results how they will unfold. So feel free to say hi in the chat and say hi to people watching, because I'm sure they'd love to maybe talk some strategy.
I'm sure that is the case. That is the one thing I've noticed. It's the thing I've noticed pretty darn consistently about auto chess players is they love to talk strategy. I'm just seeing that one auto attack. Okay, easy peasy. So yeah, I think we're seeing Monty here starting things off. Lots of goblin openers. No real surprise. Maybe we see a bit of a dragon mage flex. I don't know. You see 2 shining dragons, a level 2 shining dragon, level round 5. Maybe you do. I'm just saying. But Flame is really Flame and Monty. These are the 2 players that we really want to see. I think maybe gonna go for a lost streak here is Flame. Maybe not. Already with the assassins. Keep an eye on this.
Yeah, it's tricky. He already went to level 5, so it's not obvious on what. I mean, that almost indicates he wants to win a little bit. We'll keep an eye. Let's see, Flame going up against Monty here, who is still at level 4.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. Flame going up to 5, so he's going to be working on a win streak. It looks like. Got some assassins in play.
Decide. Yeah, I was gonna say players now are gonna decide who's gonna go, who's gonna try. We haven't had a game yet where at least 2 players haven't open forted, haven't gone for a lost streak. So we'll see. We'll see if this game. Well, I would laugh if like nobody decides to and everybody's middling and like nobody's gonna win. That would be just Wild West. That'd be wild.
We've seen some wild things. Looking through everyone's units as we're keeping an eye on Flame here. He probably wants to win this. Assassins leaping straight to the back, going after that 2-star Garrus Ranger. That's when your positioning really is working out. Got the Whisper Seer left. Flame wants to win this, and it looks like he will.
Ooh.
Very nicely done.
This was close. The Ripper almost got him.
Yep, barely staying alive there. Meanwhile, Ziggy and Monty, remember 2 of the players that we're really looking at here who are trying to make it in the top 8. They are working on lost streaks, and we've kind of discussed that. It takes a lot of confidence and mental fortitude, I suppose, to go into lost streaks when the stakes are this high. You know, you're about to potentially qualify for top 8, and you're asking me to go for a huge loss streak and go down to 50, 60, maybe lower HP. That's tough to really do when so much is on the line. So we'll see how well Ziggy can handle this. Already leaning into that loss streak up to 3. Meanwhile, Ziggy has a God of War. He's staying at level 4. So is Monty. So it's pretty clear what Ziggy and Monty are both trying to do here with those losses. Both not willing to upgrade to level 5 at the moment to keep those losses going. Nothing too crazy going on amongst our players. Level 2 Water Spirit for Purzon is kind of good, while 3 other players are going for Water Spirit. It's crazy, man. The assassins are really, everyone loves them. Everyone loves the assassin spirit play. It is a strategical favoritism that we see across all these players, it seems like.
I think it's just because it just synergizes so beautifully. You've got the Petrify that comes out with all these assassins who are already hitting really hard, but what's their biggest weakness is they're squishy. So anytime that you can impede, you can slow down, you can crowd control your opponent, keep them stunned up, locked up a little longer, is that time that you're dishing out that incredibly potent DPS. So it makes a lot of sense just them seeing those two to go toe-to-toe. But Spirits, I think, have just been a general staple all in all because they just shut down, unlike that, unless that one game, in some situations with that Light Blade Knight hard shuffle carry, they are very good at shutting down things like the Venomancer, like these big heavy melee carry compositions. But again, we've seen mages come more into the fore. We've seen Storm Shamans do their work. We've seen Knights with Light Blade Knight, the range carry, which is less impacted by that. So again, it's that quote unquote rock, paper, scissors kind of element. You know, certain builds are stronger against other builds.
I'm going to ask a controversial question.
Yes.
I wonder if we should see a spirit nerf. I wonder about that because of how popular it is and because of how much damage we've all seen it, the Dark Spirit does as it scales into the late game. Because I'm wondering if that's kind of what's on the mind of these guys. It's like, all right, that Dark Spirit doing 30k damage. I think I want that later. So I'll invest a little bit into spirits now in case that happens. So that's my controversial question of the day. Should we see a nerf?
I mean, I could potentially see. I don't even know necessarily because we haven't. It's not like Spirit has been part of every single winning composition by any stretch. And there, again, certain boards it just doesn't seem to do as well. I think there's a time and a place. Some we're talking a few percentage tweaks here and there, maybe. I wouldn't necessarily rule it out, but I don't think it's necessarily the most. It's not like day one where we saw every 6 out of 8 people in the lobby trying to go for that Kira build. I don't think it's necessarily or even close to that level per se. I think that was definitely required. And I think people general consensus was that Kira nerf was pretty spot on.
Oh, what fun. That's always something that everyone keeps an eye on, from the community to pro players, obviously developers, is what changes are happening to the game as you continue forward. Last game we saw so much success with the mage play combined with the Dark Spirit play, which was just nutty from Devless. So we'll see if anything like that pops back up. Right now we're still looking at Monty. He's currently on a 5 loss streak, definitely on purpose, trying to build up that econ. Down to 67 HP.
How on purpose though? I don't think he was.
Okay, yeah, I
think he.
Yeah, I did. I think he wanted to beat the neutral round for sure.
Yeah, we just are gonna pretend we didn't see that. Let's go back up now to Devless, who once again is sitting up at the top of the leaderboards. He's dead even in terms of economy, ahead in levels to Monty, and he has 30 more HP. I understand it's hard to get a quote-unquote win streak going. Actually, nobody has. It's a bit of middling right now. I mean, these guys, obviously him and Radical, have been doing pretty well. I think we'll start to see the win streaks come out next round. But, I mean, I would just... I don't feel like it's... I don't feel like I have it in me, Axel Toss. I don't feel like I'm the kind of player who can open for it. I just ain't about that life. It's just not who I am. I see this and I see them winning and I go, yeah, I want to win. I want to win.
Yeah, that's one of the fun, realizations you almost have in auto chess. Whenever players are winning or losing, it's most of the time it is on purpose. Like we see from Monty here, just focusing on this loss streak, really trying to keep this loss streak together, and it's such a bizarre thing. That doesn't really exist in other games. So it's fun to see how you kind of approach it. And it's definitely, I agree. It's like, it doesn't feel all that right. It's like, wait a second, going on a loss streak here is helpful. But speaking for myself, that moment where you do make the loss streak really work for your economy and for the build that you're going for, it is so satisfying when you're able to turn it around. Kind of like what we saw with Devlis in the last game.
Yeah, no, again, you can never count these players out. And Monty is renowned. Again, I thought he wasn't doing it last round, and I got legitimately concerned. So, again, definitely not a bad strategy. It's just you got to be able to play it right. You've got to have nerves of steel, and you just got to know how to execute it, like anything in this. But yes, we are seeing now Monty, I think, goofing and breaking that win streak. Lol, Monty, that was not that. You're on round 12, dear sir. That was a goof. Monty won, everybody. Monty. Well, now you got to win.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went from level 5 to level 6 there with a single click. And it was weird because he was at 7 out of 8. And then he upgraded. He went a level up to be 3 out of 16. And now he's 4 out of 16, which means in theory he could go to the next level again. So yeah, it does make you wonder, is he going for a win streak now? Because if he was going for an absolute win streak, maybe he would level up to level 7 right now if he really wanted to double down on reversing the loss streak. So let's see what happens here.
We'll see. Big question mark. Man, that God of War. Does some decent. I guess it's ace max.
Yeah, I guess it's win streak time for Monty.
All right. Maybe a little early. Compiro! Can you roll your R's, Axel Toss?
Oh man, dude. I can, but it's like I have to try an embarrassing amount. I have to really try to do it properly. Even though my last name is Rodriguez, so I can't even roll the R's on my own last name.
I mean, yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, I asked just because.
Yeah.
Compiro, like that nice the rolled R
Compiro,
said really,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel better about myself a little bit now.
It's very hard. Everyone in the chat, try to roll your R's. It's fun.
Yeah. I was just because he's doing really well for himself right now. I got a 5-win streak, and I was gonna try and say his name really emphatically with a lot of emphasis. But instead, I guess we'll just compliment him the normal way. Good time.
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass myself and try. It's just one of those broadcaster moments.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't done that. Embarrassed myself plenty while being a broadcaster on the internets.
I feel like embarrassing myself is just on brand.
Yeah, people like it. It's like endearing, right? We'll go with that. Devlis working on another loss streak. 3 players with loss streaks: Devlis, Ziggy, and Bobula. Remember, we're looking at Monty, Ziggy, and Flame mostly. Radical and Devlis, we've more or less agreed, are probably in. So Flame, Ziggy, and Monty, again, for those of you just tuning in, they're trying to get into the top 8 of our player pool to advance to the finals. Top 8 players advance to finals in our ESL Mobile Open from the 24 players in the playoffs.
And that's huge, because the amount of prizing you get from top 8, top 16, it's a pretty substantial difference. Quite a bit of money up for grabs for these players. So we'll definitely keep an eye on what. Please don't lose to neutrals again. Okay, you're good. All right, be chill. We got this. That is a lot of little trees.
I don't know.
Watch.
Okay, he's got it.
It's fine.
Draws are possible if it takes too long.
He's fine. He's got 20 seconds. So Devlis, again, somebody we know can play towards these hella cool loss streaks. Maybe now with leveling up this win range. No, he's just going to commit to continue to this. Okay. I don't necessarily know what build he's going for here. He might be going to go for some Hunter or Garrus's play, but he needs more of a front line than just these 2 Argali Knights. He really wants, I think, maybe to flex into... Divinity would have made some sense with the God of War if he could have gotten those leveled early, but he didn't opt for that. There's no Warriors. Knights is not really an option. He's got mages on his board, potentially some. I don't know what Devlis is doing, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think this is a moment where you give it a couple rounds and then it might come together. So maybe check back in on Devlis, because I agree, man. It's kind of He's got Hunter going, but that's it. And Hunter definitely doesn't work well on its own. So we'll see. Maybe there is a case for an Evil Knight coming out and having a Knight buff with the Agarsis to help with the Agarsis Ranger and supplement well with the Hunter composition. So keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, I'm looking at Flame a little bit, just kind of trying to see what he's up to. He's going Assassins, and Kamburo is also going Assassins. So that might be a little bit distressing for Flame because his Abyssal Crawler is only 1 star right now. He's got one on the bench, but probably wants a little bit more progress to be made on that Abyssal Crawler. So looking at Flame here, let's see how he does going up against Radical, aka Choke God.
Ow. Yeah, I think Flame's got some potential. They're going for assassin builds, but there's a difference. Like one is leaning more into the druids, and the other is leaning more into the goblin marine mech kind of vibe with it. Maybe playing around that as well. It's not the full committal to the 6 assassin either. I think this is just Kamburo sort of filling time until he can get his Venomancer really ramped up, though that is open to change. I think this is really the only full committal. No knights really being played here this time around either. We are having Kira now coming out for Monty, so I think he's gonna be playing around that Venomancer. Keep an eye on that, the tried and true.
Flame trying to hang in there. He's got the Warpwood Sage in front, kind of the classic Warpwood Sage assassin build. Let's see if he can come out on top here against Monty. Monty on the 3 loss streak. Actually, that's a little curious. Is Monty a little bit lower than he wants? Monty also all the way up to 60 gold. He's
60,
level 8.
Yeah, so Monty like hard pivoted here. He's like really embraced, but he's like getting to goblins really late, which I think is kind of interesting. He does have the Venomancer. He is going to build this up as his carry. He's not even close to getting it to level 2. So that's interesting. He does have the Devastator out, so he'll look to build around it. But like, he's getting here so late to the party. He's already level 8. These are like 1 and 2 cost units that he's fishing for now. I don't like this call here from Monty. I think this is actually a mistake.
Yeah. You also wonder when he wants to go up to 9. His economy is fine. His economy is the good news, I guess.
He needs to keep rolling before he goes to 9, because the sooner he rolls, the harder it's going to be to get these units that he needs. I mean, so many are still at 1 star. Yeah, you could try and really play for the Grim Touch, the Devastator, and the Necro, or the Veno, sorry. And he did actually still win this, so maybe I'm crazy. You know, maybe I'm a crazy person. It's up against Pearson, who's doing okay. But I don't know. I don't know, chat. We'll see.
So we have a neutral round upcoming here for Monty. So, whoa, what? Okay, that's weird. He just leveled up to 19 out of 32. If you look at Monty's experience at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's a little strange. Yeah. Like, usually you don't buy it unless you're getting it, you know?
So he basically didn't want to roll. He's staying above 51, so he's keeping the 5 interest. He doesn't have a win streak going, so that's really his only way to earn additional income. So he's half buying this round, so he can half buy it. He's not in really risk of losing a ton of HP, so he doesn't need to fast level and break his econ. The reason he's doing this is because, again, he realizes that the units he needs to fish for, rolling for that right now doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The way he's going to get on a win streak is not from the level of his units, by the volume of them.
So I would expect him to go up to level 9 now, and then also roll down, maybe, right? Let's see what he does. Okay, yeah. There we see the level up to 9, and now how much of his money is he going to spend? Okay, spending a little bit, picking up a Scryer, spending a little bit more. Yep, here's the big roll down.
He's going to roll down to probably 30.
Picking up a Ripper. Will he go further?
There it is. Those are big.
Venomancer,
boy,
down to 20. Does he stop
that
there?
Might have been a mistake. Yeah, that might have been okay. Wow, he hard rolled. All right. People are saying relying on that goblin bonus is better. Is, you know, having all that additional armor and HP regen is better than the level 2s themselves. Don't know if I fully agree with that, but I can definitely see that point of view. Partially when things like this happen.
I think to your point too, like, Imagine if he had gone for it earlier, because he went for something else and then just completely changed into it. So it's just like he's a little late, maybe, right, to the point that you were making there. So I think the answer really is both. Both is the answer. Like Monty definitely wants his goblins to be stronger. I mean, it is nice he's got the 6 goblin bonus going on, but he would love to make these into 2 stars, all these goblins. So that's what he's looking for right now, for sure.
Yeah,
just needs the economy to do. Yeah, there's one.
Axel Toss, look at the left side of our screen right now. 62, 58, 57, 55, 50, 46, 41. 25 HP separates second and 8th right now. We are around 22. No win streaks, no loss streaks. Everybody is just giving it their all right now. This is a very interesting lobby. We haven't quite seen anything like it. There's nobody. Everybody's just trading blows back and forth. And I love it. I love it. It means the state of the meta is in a really good spot. The fact that we're seeing this variability of builds as well. So I am a fan. That is for sure.
We see Monty against Ziggy here. 2 of the players we're keeping a very close eye on. Looks like Monty is barely going to come out on top. Monty's definitely looking for a win streak here. His economy is in shatters. He just spent so much money trying to get these additional units out, also going up to level 9. He's at the bottom of the lobby. So the impetus is definitely on Monty right now to really scale into a big win streak here. He almost has to, but he is low on money. Okay, good news. Look, okay, we have a level 2. Yeah, 2-star Skybreaker. He's got his 2-star Ripper now. 2-star Venomancer. Thank you very much. 2-star Soulbreaker. Now Monty is really finding what he's looking for. And also he has a fair amount of items stacked onto that Venomancer. So I think Monty should be okay here. It feels like he's been able to strengthen up the core of his composition.
Yeah, and it's gonna need to be strong right now because he's facing up against some killer assassins. He is going to be able to survive, sustain on through. That HP regen he's getting from that 6 goblin buff is doing wonders for him. So there you are. Also, chat, don't expect me to be able to do math. What are you doing? It's caster math. It's never going to be right. I don't think I've ever been right on math. I've been casting professionally since 2015. Team, it's never happened. Never once. Just accept that this is the world we live in. Okay. Moving on.
Okay. I have what's 1 + 1?
I said not on broadcast, Axel Toss. Let's one step at a time.
I thought we had
2
it
steps
there, man. We trained that before the broadcast in rehearsal.
I'm
we
so
practiced.
sorry.
Okay.
I know.
Talk about the game.
Okay.
Talk about the game.
Okay.
Monty on a 5-win streak. I think from here we might be able to peek at someone else because Monty should be like in order now. He's found what he's been looking for, and we watched him look for that. So who are the other players we're looking? Flame and Ziggy. Guess what? Are sandwiching Monty in our leaderboard here. I'm going to take a quick peek at Flame.
Let's look at Flame. I want to look at Flame because Monty's stabilized. Yeah. He's on a 6-win streak now. Let's see what Flame's up to.
So Flame has found his 3-star Warpwood Sage, which is integral in this assassin build that we've been seeing from these players. What else is he working on here? He's got the Warpwood Sage, 2-star Siren, 2-star Lord of Sand, interestingly. He's put a lot of items on his 2-star Abyssal Crawler, not too many surprises there. And looking at his bench, he's got a lot of Soul Breakers and 1 Abyssal Crawler. So I would say Flame's in an okay spot. The problem is he's 1 gold in the bank. So he might be in struggle town right now, actually, with no economy compared to everyone around him. Devlis 50, Kumburo 51, Bobula 58. So let's see how Flame turns this around because he needs to find money. He needs money.
Yeah. He needs to have that Mr. Krabs moment. Is money. He needs to try and get his pincers on some. So, oh boy, especially because Devlis and Bobula, like in Kumburo, so good in terms of econ, and they're that good in terms of econ. And Devlis is level 9 for the record as well. And their HP totals aren't. I almost said like the Brits. The HP totals are still in really good shape, and that's not the level 3 Soulbreaker. So that's actually a pretty big deal here for Flame. That's what he needed. Didn't have a whole lot of money to spend, but spend it, I guess, wisely in this situation. So now he's got the front line. He's got the Warpwood Sage. It's going to aggro, take a lot of time. He's going to have the additional CC from the Siren, and then he's going to be able to these assassins doing their work. And he's also flexing a potential Marines into the mages. So I like the things that are happening.
Yeah, it's just the economy that is scaring me a little bit for Flame. Like, just 1 gold, it's only round 26. But looking across the board, it's not like anyone is having a great economic game here. So this might be just the tale of the scrappiness as the tournament goes on. Trying to do everything you can to get the items you need and sacrificing your economy to do so. And I'm kind of wondering, what was Flame rolling for that he didn't really pick up that he needed to succeed here? Because if he doesn't have an economy, that means he was looking for something. And if he's not winning, that means he didn't find what he was looking for. So Flame.
Was it you? Was it you, Shining Assassin? Did you bait him?
Flame, it is time to figure this out. Flame is running out of time to figure this out if he wants to be in the top 8. He's low on it's dire straits for his economy. It's at 24 HP. And it's not I see something he can build soon that will save him, you know?
Like, there's no big, like, he's not like he's 1 away from completing a synergy that's really going to matter. It's, you know, 1 more star in a Shining Assassin isn't going to be the make or break at this point. I just think he's you know, it's the slow and inexorable, you know, embrace of death at this point.
And look at this, how poetic. Monty is the player he faces there, who almost destroys him. Monty, where did you get that Lightblade Knight? Wait, what?
8 minutes. Wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh, that must be from the Grand Herald. Must be.
Interesting. So Flame is, again, one of these players who I think we're pretty is close to getting into the playoffs. Again, I don't remember all the math. It's not guaranteed. However, the other big thing that Flame can do is he can play spoilers to players in other lobbies. Him going out in 8th here actually opens up
That's true.
so many doors for players in groups 2 and 1. I don't know why I said it in that order, but here we are. And this is going to be, if you're a player who's sort of like on the cusp, on the bubble, as we say, holding on, watching with bated breath, Flame going out in 8th may actually be the difference maker in whether or not you make it to the finals.
Yeah, and once again, can he survive? A little closer, but no. He's going to lose some more HP. He's not completely out of it yet. Abyssal Crawler desperately trying to keep his master alive. Flame down to 5 HP. And to remind everyone, coming into this game, Flame was at 63. So any players who are watching this from other lobbies can do the math while not on
Wait,
broadcast.
he actually... Yeah, no, Flame, like, 63, that's not enough. That's not enough. Right. And it wasn't actually Monty. He did lose to Pierzon, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Or maybe it was Bobula, by the way.
Bobula? No, it was Bobula. Who had the 3-star Lightblade Knight?
Yeah, Bobula has the 3-star. Yeah, Bobula has the 3-star Lightblade. But
gotcha.
Flame, dude, he if he can just outlast Kamburo, that might be what he needs for top 8. Like, actually. So Flame is so important that he delays his death. If death is coming. And death might be coming.
Like Winter, death may be
Oh! Abyssal Crawler hero.
Nebulous, please. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're getting a little stressed here, guys. If I'm being honest, if I'm being real with you, the pressure is real.
Okay, Flame was at 63. Now Monty was at 60. Ziggy was at 58. Just to keep everyone in the loop here.
Yeah.
Flame does not want last. If Flame is last, Monty and Ziggy almost certainly will pass him. Come on, Flame. You got this, dude.
If Flame gets bottom 2, he's out. He's out. So this is actually huge. Flame just needs, I mean, I was going to say a little bit longer. No, he needs to live like at least 3 or 4 players longer. And with 5 HP, no win streak. And again, like not super close to like any one major, you know, synergy. I don't know. He just has to hope against hope. I mean, okay.
I think he needs to outdo Monty and Ziggy, and that's hard right now. I mean, that's what he needs to do. He needs to finish ahead of Monty and Ziggy. But guess what? Monty and Ziggy, they're 2nd and 3rd in the lobby. Flame is last with 5 HP and 12 gold.
He did get the claw wand, so that's actually huge. The old BKB. He's got it. So that might be a big difference maker here for his hyper carry Abyssal Crawler. Oh boy. Here we go. Assassin versus Assassin.
He would love a 3-star Abyssal Crawler right now. He does not have it. Just the 2-star is going to have to carry him to victory alongside the 3-star Soulbreaker. Will this be the final moment for Flame in the tournament? Oh, no. He's out.
Oh, my goodness. The cleave on the Shadow Crawler with the crit, the coup de grace, coup d'ombre, whatever you want to call it. Combine that with the Axe of Fury. He just got wiped. A couple big crits came out, and that's Flame done and out. Oh, no. He was so close, Axel Toss. He was so close.
On the edge of top 8. We'll have to wait for our official mathematician results, which we are not. We don't have, as we've discussed many times. But, yeah, that could be the end for Flame. He was at 63 and getting 0, being in last. So he will stay at 63. So now the impetus is on Monty and Ziggy. They just need to avoid being second to last, effectively, and they're past Flame. Okay, so it is 1 point. I'm getting confirmed. Flame will get a single point. He'll go up to 64.
Yep, that's not enough. We have 2 players at 65 already from group number 1. Oh my!
And I think another from group 2 also at 65.
Oh. Yeah, we don't see nearly enough Shadow Crawler. I mean, this is definitely more of a feast or famine carry because you're hoping for the crits. But, I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. I think it's different. I'm digging it.
So Monty has fallen a little bit. Remember, he went on a crazy win streak, and then he was near the top of the lobby, but now he's fallen off just a little bit, and also his economy is super low. I don't necessarily want to just commentate players that are trying to hold on for their lives, but that's almost what's happening here. Like Flame just trying to hold on. Now Monty is almost in a position where he's just trying to hold on here for top 8.
And Ziggy as well.
Crazy.
Ziggy gets in top 2. I think Ziggy might actually also potentially make it into the playoffs if he gets himself in the top 2 position. Ziggy, of course, one of our players from last season. He transitioned games to auto chess to be here. Like, he is a relatively new auto chess player. But just goes to show that the auto battler skills, they really do translate. Oh boy. Oh boy. Once again, this Shadow Crawler. Hard carry. Yep. This is so close, Axel Toss. Oh my goodness.
This is quite close. Let's see here.
I mean, Bobula's on the win streak. He's the one who's got this, not even that stacked Lightblade Knight. He's got a Hell Knight, actually, that's got most of the items. Looking to try and get this up to level. He's also got this is a very weird thing happening here for Bobula. I'm not exactly sure what's happening, if I'm being honest. He's trying to get the Hell Knight to level 3. But let's jump back on with Monty. Let's see how Monty's doing here. Because Monty and Ziggy, those are the 2 players we're really looking towards here.
Yeah, Monty, a little bit of everything going on. You know, he has 1 3-star. That's it. And the Soulbreaker. He's got the hero bonus working. He's got the Dark Spirit in play. We could see most of the damage coming out from his Soulbreaker, his 3-star Soulbreaker, getting up above 5k. Nothing crazy, but good amount of supplemental damage happening for the rest of the composition from Monty. So he doesn't need a crazy carry. Just has a lot of good damage on a few critical pieces. And he's back up to top 2. And to your point earlier, I mean, this has just been so close. 29, 28, 17, 15, 14, 5 is the HP of our remaining 6 players. Devlis at the bottom, trying to get rid of a lost streak. Devlis is effectively safe into the top 8.
Yep. Yeah, Radical and Devlis have secured those spots for this group. Pretty much regardless of what happens in this round. Though Devlis going out here would, of course, be kind of disastrous. Not disaster, but kind of rough at this point. And it could have more repercussions for other groups as well. He is, of course, committing to this mage builds. Tortola Elder has already got that to 2, so that's not a huge... What's he looking for? What is he rolling for? He's rolling... Yeah, that's got it. He's rolling for a Tsunami Stalker. Okay. So he's got what he wants. This is like... Devlis looking at him. I think this is the opportunity for him to maybe try and turn this around. Okay.
He has to. Can't afford another loss. Basically. He's got the Dragon Knight in there too. The Dragon bonus is going on. I mean, this is something he did last game. I mean, how similar is it, right? Like 6 mage, he's got the Dragon bonus. If it ain't broke. I don't know how the phrase goes, but he's doing it. It almost looks like, are we watching the same game as last time?
The call down,
Stay
the
alive.
level 2 helicopter.
Oh, that's it.
Pure Sun and
Devlis.
Devlis are out, but he made it in 6th while Pure Sun was in 5th. Bobula holds on. Oh, man.
I think this is now a dogfight between Monty and Ziggy, straight up. It's almost like a 1v1 between these two guys. I almost want to say for top 8, but obviously that's where the big math comes in. But that is again, it's such an important moment here for Monty and Ziggy. They both want to outlast each other because they are so close on the overall leaderboard and trying to break into the top 8.
This is huge. This is a big deal here. We're watching Ziggy right now. He's got the big old God of War out in front. He's going a Mage, Spirit, and Divinity, which is a very popular build. He only has his level 1 Dark Spirit, but not the end of the world here. He's got the Blade Mail up on that God of War, which is going to be dishing and taking quite a lot of damage up at the front. And then once all these spells go through, that's really the big moment of truth, and here they come.
Yeah, going up against Monty, we can see all the damage just dispensed across the army. The Light Blade Knight is going to be the last remaining. The Light Blade Knight and the Hell Knight, and it is going to prevail for Monty. We've seen this combo utilized so well. Bobula is out. We're down to our final 3 in this final game. Monty, Radical, aka Choke God, and Ziggy. And I guess the Knights player is gone, even though we saw pretty good play there from Bobula. He lost on his own board, so he's out. So the Knights go to the nether of emptiness. No other players going Knights to really take advantage of that.
And that could actually be huge for Ziggy here, because that's really, I think, the last build that really countered him. Again, we're going to see it this time up against Radical. He's going for a very similar build. See which one's going to be able to come out on top. You can hear the lightning striking, but that call down, oh man, once again from this helicopter, just so impactful. That's Ziggy out. Top 3, and I'm not sure that was enough, Axel Toss. I'm not sure that was enough. Oh boy.
How many points do you get for 3rd again? He asked in an open question. I think it's 10-6. I think he gets 6, so he's up to 54, 64. He's at 64, I think, with that. Ziggy, with 3rd place, unconfirmed, which we've presumed. We've seen 65 and above. Man, Ziggy might literally have missed out by 1. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Stay tuned. The point here, though, Monty, what a game from this hero. I've been hyping him up. I've been the caster who's been putting his neck on the line, hyping this guy up. And is it something about just loving the pressure and like needing to step up in these moments? Because Monty, he's cruising, man. He's doing exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah,
something tells me something tells me that he's not sweating at all. He's like, all right, whatever. I'll just get 1st in this one and get in the top 8. There it is.
Yep. As I accidentally, right at the game ends, actually clicked that additional button just to take us to the menu screens. Sorry, production team. That's on me. That's a Paul problem. Wow, what a finale! Axel Toss, what a finish! Chad is already making opinions. Chad is already predicting how our top 8 has played out. I don't know yet. Okay. I haven't necessarily kept track of the math. I don't 100% know how this has worked. People are saying that certain players are in, certain players are out. I think there's tiebreakers involved, so I don't know. I'll laugh if my 65 number that I predicted at the start of the day / took from my producer predicted at the start of the day is correct, and that might actually be the cutoff. That would be pretty fantastic. But let's take a look back at this final match of the playoffs. Axel Toss, walk us through it with our Xperia highlights.
Of course. Final game of the day. We've been repeating it. It all really comes down to this for Flame, for Monty, and for Ziggy. And we started off here with watching Flame. Of course, he found himself not really much of anything. It's a situation where he just needed to do something, and unfortunately not finding the pieces that he needed, and Flame would eventually be knocked out. But not before scraping away a win here, I believe, and his Abyssal Crawler. But You can see the 3-star Soulbreaker. I kind of wonder if he preferred that 3-star to be on that Abyssal Crawler. Ultimately, it would not matter. Flame did not find what he was looking for, and he was out in 8th place. Here we are looking at Radical, and he's going up against Pure Zun here. 3-star Water Spirit from Pure Zun, you can see going to town, able to get the better of Radical there, aka Choke God. And now we move on to Devlis, who was our MVP of the last game, having a crazy game. Devlis is in the top 8, should be just fine. And we can see him here going up against Choke God. And Choke God just had such a powerful force the entire way through, would end up knocking out Devlis just barely before Pure Zun was also knocked out. And this moves us on to Monty. Monty started off with a loss streak, was making us nervous, losing a lot in the early part of this round. Not making me nervous, though. And he would turn it around, and he would, what I think, do exactly what he wanted to do. I think this is the game plan from Monty, and he succeeded. There we see him succeeding. Bobula out, Ziggy out. And with Ziggy being eliminated, that all but guarantees Monty's positioning in the top 8 with a win here. Of course, Radical, aka Choke God, trying to hold on. But Monty would take it, and he's going to be in our top 8. So I think all that's left to do is to find out who else is in the top 8.